All right, guys, it is 101, almost 102 already. Thank you for being here on time. Uh, Man, you guys used to be really, really good about attendance. Gone a lot down a little bit since last week. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over the answers on your homework. So get your 1.3 homework pulled up if you haven't done so already. I'm going to move pretty quickly into that, and that way I'm not using all your time. And we'll talk about next week after we're done. Okay. So 1.3 homework. Make sure you have that pulled up. I'm gonna share my screen with that assignment pulled up here, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so on the front page, questions 1 through 3. First, we'll talk about 4 in a second, but questions 1 through 3. Um, the graph there shows it's a weighted graph. It's got numbers on the edges, and the graph shows paths and distances in yards between different attractions in a park. So we're going to use it to answer these questions. And number one was, what's the shortest route from the entrance to the slide? So here's how I want to do this. In the chat, and let's get everybody, as many people are participating. If you did this problem, put it in the chat publicly for everybody to see what the answer that you came up with for number one. In terms of the distance, what's the distance that you came up with on number one? Um, Put it in the chat. Let's see if you guys got the correct answer, and I will tell you the correct answer as soon as we're done. 35, 35, 35. Anybody else? Oh, you guys are all getting 35. Good. My last class, a bunch of people got 40. Um, that we're looking for the shortest path from the entrance to the slide. A lot of people in the last period just went this way, and 25 plus 15 is 40. But there is a shorter way to do it, to go to the snack bar, and then to go to the tree house, and then to go to the slide, because 20 plus 10 plus 5 is only 35. For those of you that didn't get that, or you don't understand how to write the sequence, just showing you again, and we've had this on a couple of different assignments now, you would just write it like this. We started at E, and then we put a dash, and we'd go to SB, and a dash to T was the vertex, and then SL. Okay, so that would be our sequence. Our distance was 35 yards. Okay, it's hard to write on here. All right, 35 yards. All right, so that would be for number one. So good job for those 4 of you that answered on there. Good. Let's check number 2. What's the distance you came up with number 2? Let's get more people than those 4. I mean, you 4 definitely if you want to answer. Let's get some more people answering the question number 2. What was the distance you guys came up with? Put that in the chat for everybody to see. Lupe got 30. Shelby, Aaliyah, Esmeralda, Miriam, good job. You guys all got 30. 30 is the correct answer. 30 yards. I'm not going to write the sequence for you. This one should be pretty easy compared to the other one. So good job. Let's do number 3. Number 3, what's the answer you guys got for number 3? Put that in the chat. The distance in yards. Distance for number 3. A couple 20s, 20, 20. You guys are correct. 20 is the correct answer for number number 3. Um, I'm not gonna put the sequence there. If you need the sequence, let me know right now. But otherwise, for which one, Lupe? For number 3? So the shortest route from the snack bar to the cave. So snack bar to the cave, the direct route is 30. That's not the direct route is not always the fastest. In this case, it would go up to the entrance and then to the cave because 15 plus 5 is only 20. You see the correct answer now, Lupe? Okay. All right. All right. I'm not gonna. So a couple of people pointed out to me, and I wrote this question last minute. This was the last question I actually wrote for this assignment. Was number 4, and I screwed it up. Obviously, how many of you were confused with number 4? Because I obviously used yards in the prompt, but I asked for you in minutes and time on the question. So obviously, I screwed up. Sorry about that, guys. Don't worry about an answer for number four. I'm not even going to attempt to correct it because I don't want to confuse you guys. The question doesn't make any sense. So you couldn't answer it with the information that I gave you. If you put something there, that's fine. Leave it. I'm curious to read what your answers are. But if you didn't put anything there, leave it blank. Don't worry about number four. I screwed up. My bad. I'll try not to rush next time when I'm finishing these assignments. All right. All right. Let's move to page two. So page two is a little bit harder for some people, and um, it's basically making sure that you guys are understanding and critical thinking about what it is that you're being presented with, as well as what it is that you need to figure out in order to answer the question. I really encourage you to, or really want you guys to write in complete sentences and explain, work on your explanation on how you come up with an answer. So let's go over in detail number five and six because they are a little bit for some people a little bit more difficult. Some of you were able to figure out pretty quickly. Um, Here's some important information that you need to know before you can answer the questions. This is a map of a large university, and it says that you arrive in the parking lot. So you drive in and you have to park in the parking lot. It does tell you that you have an hour-long class at the music building at 10 a.m., so that's real important. And then you also have a 2-hour class at 12:30 in the math building. Okay, all those things are very important in order to answer these two questions, all three of them actually. So number five says, what's the latest you can arrive on campus in the parking lot for your 10 a.m. class without being late? Explain any routes you take to justify your answer. So if we are entering into the parking lot and I have to be in the music building by 10 a.m., I need to figure out first what's the fastest way to get from the parking lot to the music building. Go ahead and put in the chat what's the fastest way to get from the parking lot to the music building. What's the path and how long does it take? If you have an answer, put that in there. This is not the final answer to the problem. This is going to help me get to the final answer of the problem. Anybody have how long does it take the fastest way? Good. Luis, good. Martin. Go from the parking lot to the gym and then from the gym to the music building. And you guys are writing it correct. PL to G to M would be 25 minutes. So if I know it takes 25 minutes to walk from the parking lot to the building I need to be at 10 o'clock, now let's answer the question. What's the latest I can arrive at the parking lot in order to get to my class on time? (9:35), not 9:55. 9:35 is correct. So 9:35 would be the latest I can get because 25 minutes later will be 10 a.m. and it's going to take me at least 25 minutes to walk there. So again, I want you to explain this in your problem. Make sure that you're saying, well, in order, my class starts at 10, it's going to take at least 25 minutes to get there by going from the parking lot to the gym to the music building, which means I need to arrive at least at 9:35, otherwise I'll be late. Okay, that's an explanation. That's a simple explanation right there. Okay. If you didn't see that before, do you see that now? Anybody go ahead and write yes in the chat if you didn't understand that before, but now you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. At least get some feedback. I hate not seeing you guys. So good. All right, let's talk about the next question. Okay, so let's talk about number six. Number six says, will you have time to go to the cafeteria and eat lunch in between your classes? If so, how long? All right, so there's several things that we need to know here. First of all, what time do we get out of our music class? What time are we going to get out of that? Josh is right, 11 a.m. Okay, it's going to be at 11 o'clock. If I want to go to the cafeteria, and then I also need to get to the math building by 12:30, I have an hour and a half in between my two classes. It says that the math one is at 12:30. So I need to find the quickest way to get from the music building to the cafeteria, and then from the cafeteria to the math building. If you weren't able to figure that out before, take a look at it right now. What's the fastest way? Obviously, from the music to cafeteria, 10, that's the shortest way. Okay, so this 10 automatically. But now, what's the shortest way from the cafeteria all the way over here to the math building? Following this route right here, 10 more minutes, 20 more minutes, 30 minutes, and then plus 20 is 50 minutes. So if I follow this route, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 20 is 50, plus the original 10 minutes to walk to the cafeteria in the first place, that's 60 minutes. That's 1 hour. So do I have, yes or no, do I have time to eat lunch? Yes, we do. Okay, how long do we have to eat lunch? 30 minutes. Good job, guys. Those of you that are following along. 30 minutes. So make sure that you're explaining that. We have an hour and a half between the time I get out of the music class and the time that I get into the math, have to go to the math class. It's going to take 10 minutes to walk to the cafeteria. It's going to take 50 minutes to walk to the math building, which means leaves me 30 minutes left over to eat lunch. You have 30 minutes to grab lunch and go to your next class. Okay. I'm recording this, by the way. You guys can look at this later. I'm going to post this a little bit later. All right. Last question that pertains to this graph. What time would you leave campus if you went straight to your car after classes? This is pretty an easy one. The math class, you have to pay attention to the prompt. The math class is 2 hours, not 1 hour. So the math class is 2 hours. It starts at 12:30. That means you're going to leave class at 2:30. It takes you 20 minutes to walk to the parking lot. There's no other faster way to get there. So you're going to leave class, or you're going to leave campus at 2:50 p.m. Hopefully, it looks like several of you were able to get that. Good. All right. Anybody have any other questions about that? Number 8, look up that stuff on the internet. There's a lot of different examples. Type in weighted graphs in real life. You will find a lot. Okay. All right. Let me stop sharing here for a second. Let me talk about next week. Can you turn your cameras on for the last 4 minutes of class, guys? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. On Schoology, I have a quiz that's posted, and if you click on the Friday, it takes you straight to it. It's at the bottom of at the bottom of the AQR, the Unit 1 folder right now. So here's how my quizzes work. Even before we were all virtual, all my quizzes have been online. There used to be Google Forms, but now that I'm using Schoology because it's actually a lot. There's a lot more features on it. All my quizzes are open note and open internet. So you can use the internet to find an answer if you think it will help. You can use your notes to find an answer if you think it will help. You just can't use your friends. Okay. If you The way that I set the quizzes up is I open them up at a certain time, and that time is today, and then it closes automatically at a certain time. That time is Wednesday morning before school starts. So it'll close Wednesday morning, and you have any time between now and then in order to do it. Okay, it's a 15-question quiz, mostly multiple choice, true, false. I think 1 or 2 fill in the blank, whatever. It shouldn't take you longer than 20 to 30 minutes at the most. You don't have to take it today. You don't have to take it right away. Take it when you're ready. This quiz will not be on the progress report. The grades cut off today for the progress report. So the only thing that's going to be on the progress report are the first week stuff and your 3 homework grades. Okay, I'll put those in on Sunday. Sunday is my watch NFL all day and put grades in the gradebook day. All right, so I will update all your grades on Sunday for you guys. Make sure that you have all 3 of the homeworks in. So giving you a little bit more opportunity. If you haven't turned any of those homeworks in, turn it in by Sunday. That's when I'll start putting in grades. Okay. Next thing. Have you guys checked your schedules? You're all good to go for Monday. You're going to have your Lobo time, and your advisor likely will change over this weekend. So check the portal probably Sunday afternoon at some point to see if those Lobo time and your advisory has changed, especially if you're coming to campus. Especially if you're coming to campus. My team is the Titans. We're 2-0 right now, baby. All right, better than the Cowboys. So I think that was it. So get your information stuff in. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have anything over the weekend you can't figure out, shoot me an email or a message on Remind and I'll respond. If you don't have anything, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday, Tuesday.